Y'all are bombing people in the name of the Old Testament. I'm not doing that with y'all. I told my new young comrade this morning, I said, listen here. I'm doing the red letters, and I'm doing the red letters alone. If Jesus did not speak it or do it or bless it or act in that way, I'm not going with y'all into these valley of the shadows of doubt and despair and disbelief in yourselves and everybody else. Aren't you tired yet of not believing in yourself? Aren't you tired yet of not seizing the day? Don't you want to be happy, healthy, and free of all suffering? Isn't that what you want? Hang out till the end while I'll tell you how to earn $1 million cash today. If you stay till the very end of my share today, I'll teach you how to win $2.5 million. Woo. Happy Tuesday, April 16th, everybody. I'm Dr. Flo, not telling you what I heard, but what I know. What I know is that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're always going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your life. That's principle number 1. Number 2 is that you are imperfectly perfect, whole, and complete exactly as you are right now. Imperfectly perfect, whole, and complete exactly as you are right now. I told the kids yesterday, I said, all of life is going to try to make you be something or do something or, you're imperfectly perfect, whole, and complete exactly as you are right now. You have everything in your hands right now to be your magical self. I said, when I was your age, kids, I said, who has a smartphone in this room? All the hands went up. I said, you can win appropriate. You can connect for the positive purposes of your dreams with the world. What a time to be alive, to be a young person in your 40s with the ability to push a button and instantly record and stream your heart to the world. My cup runneth over. I'm doing life, and life is doing me today. And there's really no greater requirement. Sure, we're going to get things done. We're going to prepare for children coming into this crazy world. We're going to think about our ikigai and the overlap of our passion, our purpose, and our ability to earn a living wage and income. We're going to think about those things. We're going to think about growing our business and amplifying our message on social media and all these things. We can get it all done. When you say the word God, Snacks, what are you talking about? Ancestors, I know. Grandma Mary, Grandpa Hinton, James Baldwin, Maya Angelou. For the purposes of discussion, when you say God, what are you talking about? Because this is the thing that actually gets us, especially at the center of our doing. God as in whatever higher power you believe in. I could go all day, but I'm going to leave you alone today. What is higher power to you? I can go all day. What is higher power to you in your unique life? We break chains here. I respect everyone's individual decisions and way of life. We are each on our own unique journeys, and my way isn't the only way. My job is not to change others, but to simply love them in your unique life. This is why I no longer, like, I have principles that I teach, but I no longer assume that they're going to work on anybody beyond myself, because we all have unique lives. And so now I ask questions like, when you say higher power, Snacks, what are you talking about? Because that investigation and introspection sets the captives free. And I respect everyone's individual decisions and way of life. We are each on our own unique journeys, and my way isn't the only way. My job is not to change others, but to simply love them. Yes. We are each on our own unique journeys, and my way isn't the only way. Yes, Dr. Flo's way is not the only way to live a life. However, I will say that the idea, which I borrow from Buddhism, of being happy, healthy, and free from all suffering, I can't tell you what to do. I cannot tell y'all what to do. But I promise you, happy, healthy, which includes the hydration and drinking your water and minding your business, and freedom from suffering. The waterfall of thoughts. That incessant urge to be somewhere different than the present. What's up with that? Snack says that's a good question. I believe that it is the path we set upon, the turns, obstacles, and checkpoints. That's my best explanation right now. I'll need to think on this more. I hope that made sense. It did. It did. Higher power for me and my interpretation is the authority that I report to within myself about the turns, obstacles, and checkpoints. That's my higher power. It is the authority that I report to as it relates to turns, obstacles, and checkpoints. All built around what I want with my life, based around what my needs are. I really would like to encourage everyone to get a copy of How God Changes Your Brain. We're programming the whole thing. And that's why it's sometimes difficult for me, while we all have unique lives, and I'm grateful for the card, while we all have unique lives, it's so difficult and at times discouraging to be in a world where you know that humans are calling all of the shots within their mental. And this is the best that we choose to do. That's very annoying to me. That our best thinking got us into the lives that we have. And I'm talking about both like in the micro and the macro, because there are things that there are systems that I'm operating within that are suffocating everybody. But I can't turn off capitalism today. I can't turn it off. But to know that there are better solutions, that humanity, even as a abstract mind experiment, there's so many different ways that we could be humaning. and this is what we choose. It's an interesting thing. And so in our network, we start asking questions like, what's beyond what we see? And for me, it looks like going into Lexington High School yesterday and shadowing for the day and sharing art and coaching. And it was just a blast, very depleting of my ashe. But I also was able to see in that small little petri dish of the choir room where all kinds of energies ran in and ran out, and apparently fights break out in the school every day. I didn't see one of those. Loved and lovable. But there are opportunities for us to teach the children of all ages of what it means to be a better global citizen of one's heart. And then what does that look like in the world? Because there were healers and stylists and, you know, the little girls and I, especially the ones who, you know, they're little girls in life who are cool with their gay best friends. All of those little girls in the choir yesterday that have a gay best friend somewhere we just kikied all day. One was like, can I wear your wig? Yeah, girl. Of course you can. Of course you can. Then the kids that bullied me in high school bullied me yesterday. And the dudes that didn't care. And the guys who were like leads of their school plays had to still be like bro-y, but not. It was like a whole little thing. But these are opportunities to teach people about their gifts, to teach them to recognize their gifts at an early age into their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, dead. Mostly inside, kids. Mostly inside. I said, I'm not like these other adults. Is there a dream in here we need to cook? If you're a dreamer, raise your hand. Half the If you're a dreamer, raise your hand. Half the hands in the room went up. I said, all right, I'm talking to you, and you about your dreams. Everybody else just sit there while we talk about our futures. I know how this goes. Ceasefire now. And you want people to live their unique lives. You want to respect everyone's decision, and I feel like now I have an opportunity to invite people into a different way of being. The ancestors said, study war no more. There's so many African American traditional songs that talk about crossing over to study war no more. In this election year, there's a huge pull towards the study of war. We're now studying wars within wars and genocides within genocides and famines within famines and a lack of clean water within a lack of clean water. Remind me, Tara, to also put on my Amazon wish list a water filter. Because whatever they are putting in the water in this town for the adults is certainly also with the children. And I wish that I could independently test the water here. I have a suspicion. Shall I talk about the blessings? Oh man, shall I talk about the blessings? And they are everywhere. Dr. Flo is a free spirit. It's day 3, folks. It can be tough to stop resenting someone. It takes a deliberate decision and oomph to turn our thinking around. For starters, it can be helpful to remember that those around us eventually grow weary of listening to us whine. even if we were wronged. There's a point where enough is enough. We need to feel our emotions. We don't want to get into repression or denial. But once we've felt the emotion, it's time to let it go and turn the situation around. Envy and ill will can be a constant undercurrent in our thinking. If we don't consciously seek to pluck out these emotions, it may feel like other people are constantly getting the good luck that we have none, and that the good luck others are getting is somehow taken from us. It's not true. And resenting others and spreading ill will doesn't help us or improve our situation. There's a lot of haters out there in the world, a man said to me, but they don't even know they're spreading hate by the envious, bitter little thoughts they think. Wow. Okay, I'm going to read it this time without sounding like Willy Wonka. It was a very cold read, and it was very, very disjointed. I got it, but that's what the words sound like in my head sometimes. Day 3. It can be tough to stop resenting someone. It takes a deliberate decision, an oomph, to turn our thinking around. For starters, it can be helpful to remember that those around us eventually grow weary of listening to us whine, even if we're wronged. There's a point where enough is enough. We need to feel our emotions. We don't want to get into repression or denial, but once we've felt the emotion, it's time to let it go and turn the situation around. Envy and ill will can be a constant undercurrent in our thinking if we don't consciously seek to pluck out those emotions. It may feel like other people are constantly getting the good luck, that we have none, and that the good luck others are getting was somehow taken from us. It's not true. And resenting others and spreading ill will doesn't help us or improve our situation. There's a lot of haters out there in the world, a man said to me. They don't even know they're spreading hate by the envious, bitter little thoughts they think. The challenge of the week, and the week's theme is blessings. The challenge is that the hardest part about spreading blessings around can be remembering to ask higher power to bless us. Oh, here we go. This is a setup. The hardest part about spreading blessings around can be remembering to ask, and the text says God, folks, capital G, hard G, hard I, and hard G. I'm going to read it as it's on the page, and then I'll start to unpack this, because this is crazy. True and crazy. The challenge of the week, and for those of you who don't know what is happening in here, because I haven't reset the room, and it's been 18 minutes, you're in a daily boost from Love in Action Network. We are a small team of committed individuals who want to encourage, equip, and empower the world by being honest, open, and willing in our approach to love. What we do is in the name. We just put Love in Action, and the Daily Boost, which is a 7-day-a-week program from the network, does that. And every week we have a theme chosen from 52 Weeks of Conscious Contact with Melody Beattie as the author. And this week's theme, week 16 of the year, folks, is blessings. And the challenge this week, which happens on every Tuesday, is that the hardest part about spreading blessings around can be remembering to ask God to bless us. There's not enough time in the world to unpack this. Remembering to ask God to bless us. I don't even believe in what this lady is saying today. And there's been a couple times that Tara and I have not gone with this lady. I pray big prayers, folks. And I pray prayers like, thank you, God, and thank you, God, in me. It's the reason why this was rebranded and renamed Love and Action Network. Because if I don't put the me into God's work, it ain't gonna happen. I cannot stand this religious posturing that happens in texts like this and beyond. We're not going to abandon the text. We're not going to abandon the text. We're not going to abandon the text. We're going to look into it. The hardest part about spreading blessings around can be remembering to ask God to bless us after talking about haters up above. What a day. What a doozy. Listen, if we got less concerned with the blessings of other people and got on with the business of blessing our own lives, we'd be okay. Today's weird, Melody, because we don't have to remind God to bless us when we dwell in a spirit of abundance. God, if I ever did believe in the God that you all talk about, which is why I asked Snacks earlier, what you talking about when you say God? What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about when you say God? Because that's not the way that I even view God anymore. I don't see God as some entity outside of myself that I have to beg for forgiveness from, that I have to beg for worthiness from. You know, that, like, last year was one of the toughest years of my life, and I never had to beg God for shit. I said that with my whole chest. I had to beg people at times, and I had to scream help into the internet a few hundred times. You should really, those of you who need help today should really type it somewhere. You should ask for help of people. And don't stop asking until you get it. I mean that shit with my whole chest today. I'm going to spin the melody. Today. You should ask people for help. And don't stop asking until you get it. Because how does God work, Melody? God never went into the store for me and bought my ass a bar of soap. And this is going to offend all of the religious people today, but y'all love to be offended anyway, so deal with it. God never went into the store to get me a bar of dial. God never cash apped me. People did. So I'm going to turn this text today around. The hardest part about spreading blessings around can be remembering to ask people for help. I refuse to do more of the same. And this is why I'm offensive to people who do more of the same. The quote unquote status quo. I'm offensive to the status quo because I refuse to empower my electorate, small but mighty electorate. I refuse to hand them over to a belief system that has them wandering around in the yard asking the sky for help. It's the equivalent of me going out in the yard right now and screaming, rain, rain, rain. with not a cloud in the sky. Don't do that, folks. Don't spend your whole... Listen, can we meet in the middle? Can you spend an hour today with God? Can you spend an hour today asking your source, your higher power, your God of your understanding? Can you spend an hour tops with that energy today? Asking for the things you need if that's important to you, but then spend the rest of the time asking people for help as it relates to your dreams and your calling. I implore you. Sure, we can remember to ask God to bless us, but we can also remember to ask niggas for help. And you should. We don't shit on each other in our network, but I deeply implore you to do something today. And that is to ask for help. And help is different for everybody. Help is different for everybody. But you should consider coming out of that pessimism, coming out of that insecurity about myself, coming out of the fear and dread and worry about my material needs, lifting out of that vibration of it's not going to work out into a place of confidence, optimism, wholeness, which Tara led with this morning. It's my first word to Tara this morning. Wholeness, acceptance, and calm. You want the bad news or the good news first? Let's go with the bad news. Bad news is that here we are, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. I can check it, but I don't think anything changed in my bank accounts or anything like that. I didn't gain like the 1,000 students that I want. Nothing changed. So I have to accept, that's the bad news. I have to accept that, oh my God, nothing moved. The good news is that this moment is pregnant with the possibility of every future moment. Because of the amazing thing that a human can do, which you talk about every week when I'm on the microphone. And this is something that I coach people into. You gotta believe in your amazing ability as a human to change. Be grateful that you did not manifest here as an oak tree. An oak tree in Seattle cannot move to Atlanta. An oak tree in New York can't move to North Carolina. An oak tree in North Carolina cannot move to San Diego. But humans can. You can make a decision today to just change that thought, that pessimistic thought, that envious thought, that lower vibrational thought. You can exchange that for one that has a positive expectation as it relates to the future. When we start talking about the solar plexus chakra, it's that part of your stomach when you're maybe public speaking or performing, or you need to get something heavy off of your chest. You know, you haven't spoken up a need or a desire or a dream, and it's just right there. This was really heavy on some of the students yesterday. Like some of them even grabbed their solar plexus, having to perform. It's usually the place where people have butterflies in their stomach. I want to focus on that. Call in energies of clarity, creativity, manifestation. Start focusing on your energetic wellness and the power of what you do. Most people have lists in their minds of all of the things that they don't do. Oh man, it's Tuesday and I didn't do this and I didn't do this. And I'm not saying that there's not an important thing to having to-do lists. We have very robust systems in our network for tracking the things that we do and we don't do. But what about these things that Tara Parolo calls in her studio the brag books of life? What about the things that you do? I do inspire the future generation of creatives. I do inspire the next generation of spiritual people. Open and inclusive. All are welcomed here, as long as you encourage, equip, and empower. But I love community building, and I'm falling back in love with connecting the dots of people and just kind of arranging this little corner of my tapestry of life. That's fun. What do you do? What are you proud of that you've done recently? Have you overcome any challenges? Have you had any tough conversations? Have you tried something and failed? Success belongs to the people who fail the most. They don't like to talk about that when they're doing the whole award ceremony. There's never at the Oscars or the Emmys or the Grammys a shrine to failure. They never talk about that. Not boldly. They want you to see the hair and the makeup and the shot at the Met Gala. But they don't talk about like the days upon days and the years upon years of just flat out failure as you're climbing the mountain, and the importance of, yes, perseverance. You just refuse to give up. That's my superpower. My superpower is that I don't give up. Just do not give up. When I see the principal tomorrow, he'll remember me as the guy who passed through the campus in the wig and gave him a very strong, amazingly scented handshake. Be proud of who you are in the world. Be proud of what you do. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of your accomplishments. I come out of a faith-based tradition. That did not want anybody to be proud. Like pride and arrogance was like a thing to be prayed against. There are reasons for this, historically, people. There's a reason why you would want a slave to not be proud of their accomplishments. There are reasons why you wouldn't even want a slave to read. There are many reasons why you would not want a slave to read. And then after that slave, under threat of death, could then read the Bible, there's a reason why you would just leave in the part about pride and arrogance and standing up for yourself. It's convenient, right? That it would be a sin. Woven into my Baptist traditions. I'm not good enough on my own. You have to dunk my ass in water first. Eek. What if I was born worthy of every dream I desire from this moment forward? Can't change the past. My mama and my daddy met when I was nowhere around. What the fuck I'm gonna do about that? What can I do with my present? How can I align with my confidence? I changed some things yesterday in that high school by the power of my presence, by letting all of the community know that different people belong here. It is you who will have to align with the love in the room, or you will be left out. It is no longer mine to prove that my love vibration, that my happiness and my healthiness and my freedom from suffering is real. I no longer have to prove that to anybody. I do it, and either you're tapped in that vibration or you're going to be a hater kid for the rest of your life. And that's not going to be good for you. And you're going to remember this moment. And I told the kids this yesterday as well. Some of you who we've spoken about the dreams today, you are now responsible for living that dream. You will become that pediatrician. You will become that singer. You will become that community healer. I see it for all of you dreamers in the room. If you do not become that dream, it's on you. And everybody else, tap into love before you lose. Before you lose. It's not a threat to a teenager. It's just my Judge Judy anointing. He-he's are cute now. They're not going to be cute in the future. And the kids who walked around the campus with traffic keepers and the one, the kid walking around with one folder in his hand and just walking from room to room, they're still there, y'all. And they need love as well. I'd be very curious to know what their gifts are and how to find resources for those. But that's something that needs to be done, and I'm recognizing that's something that I do. But never again will I be in a closed container with high schoolers for 4 hours straight. Of all the things I do, I will not do that again. Not in that way. I think that it was mostly, and I want to be very, very loving and honoring with my words. When my programs come to fruition, there will be no dead air, and there will always be a sense of purpose. Those kids needed something to focus on that mattered to them as a contributor to the community, as a global citizen. If you have a room full of people and they're not united by any kind of goal or mission or core value, this is how we get the lives that we have. Come on. I think I hit all my marks today. I would like to invite you all to go to lovedandlovable.org or link in bio whenever you get a moment. There are new opportunities there to talk to our personal aide named Helen, available 24 hours through live chat, Telegram, Facebook, and Instagram. The network has a really free 99 abundant VIP membership, opportunities to connect for giving help or receiving help 24/7 through Telegram channels, ongoing community conversations, around the clock updates. I have a broadcast channel. I'm always around We do raves, for those of you who are familiar with that app. Lots of cross-pollination of love as often as we can. You can donate if you are moved by something that I spoke today and or wanting to contribute to a positive vibration. You can go to the website and donate there. Never expected, but always appreciated. It helps keep things greased, if you will. It helps grease the wheels of life so things don't come to a screeching halt. So thank you for your generosity. Every time that you have participated in a class, every time that you have sent donations for a song, anytime that you have said, yo, Flo, I hear this need here. So grateful. So grateful. You can also learn more on the site about the love experience. That is my inclusive and affirming revival. I did make some inroads today with some of the local students who are eager about spending the summer building parades and celebrations of love and singing. I heard some of them sing yesterday. They have amazing voices. Let go. To learn more about Loved and Lovable Academy, you can also go to the site. Right now, I'm teaching only in certain disciplines. Right now, I'm life coaching. I am doing vocal performance coaching. If you got a piece of music that you'd like to work through or something that's kind of stuck in your creative pipeline and you want to just get that free, we do that here. Business coaching, dream ideas, spiritual coaching. If you're looking for a non-abrasive spiritual way of living your life, it is a healthy blend of red letter Christianity, Buddhism, and a bunch of other things kind of swirling in there. We also have some good witches on staff. We're not afraid of the occult because we're not afraid of ourselves. Or are we? We're not afraid of the occult. And if you spiritually coach with me, you'll get free for real. You'll get free for real if you spiritually coach with me, because it's not in the spells and bells that you actually get your freedom. It's happening in this little 5 to 6 pound muscle on top called your brain. And once you get your fucking brain right, your spirituality will come into alignment. This is why we're mostly a mental health ministry here. Because crazy people make you crazy. And the less crazy you can be in your life, the less crazy I want to be, because we hang out online and beyond. So my spiritual philosophies are, I believe things that even predate the Bible. I read things that predate the Bible. I believe in a lot. I have an open and free mind. And part of what I do in spiritual coaching is help people to open their mind. I told the kids yesterday, and some of them were like, whoa, and some of them didn't care. The teacher barely cared. But this universe is expanding. We have telescopes on Earth that used to see stars. Now, y'all don't think I'm like on my psychobabble BS. The universe is expanding constantly, and there are telescopes on Earth who used to see the furthest stars who can no longer see them because they're further away. So too is the energy of your heart. Always expanding. Always trying to become bigger. We are the ones who do the work of containing our love. Telling other people how to live. Telling people to diminish themselves. You'd be surprised. I'm a 40-year-old man who always gets asked to be smaller. Could you imagine being 40 years? And they're doing it to the kids too. I think that was just too long. You just saw a whole kid do a student movie at the undergraduate level as Batman. You got to expand your mind. You all are not absent of money, and you're not absent of dreams, and you're not absent of ideas. And you're not even as tired as you pretend to be. Tired is this like mental thing. You know what tires you out in your mind and then it makes you tired in your body? Minding other people's business. Being overly concerned with the affairs of other people and what they're doing will tire you out. I'm not talking about going through people's stories and saying, oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice. Oh, they tried. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being invested in the ways that so many faith-based traditions are in making people behave in certain ways. Yes, Sumerian and Babylonian written texts are the inspirations to many of the popular cultures we have today. All suppression, though. All suppression. All the opposite of where I'm going. Where I'm going is into this expansive freedom place. I can't entertain the limited ones. Sumerian and Babylonian written texts are also limited. Who do you want to be today in the world? Who do you want to encourage? Who do you want to equip? Who do you want to empower? Go to the website to link up. There's Ask Offer Rooms. You can sign up to produce with us here if you've got the time, energy, and patience to deal with a guy named Flo. Hello, Carice. Are you still in the room? We were talking about you earlier. How awesome it was to meet you and to hear your voice yesterday. We're looking to awaken the hearts of people who love and love creativity. I was telling them, I'm not sure if you were in the room, Carice O2, that there were dreamers in every class, and there also were people who were like great behind the eyes. But what you did with Batman, and I hope you're still here. She ran. I'll text her. What she did with Batman. Students at Tisch in NYU can't even do. So now we focus on the dreamers. Through lovedandlovable.org, you can go for 24/7 updates there through our broadcast channel. You can sign up for our newsletter and magazine there on the site, all through the link in bio, all for free. Tap in and receive the blessing. The great Sufi poet Rumi said, there's a field out beyond right doing and wrong doing. I will meet you there. there is a place beyond all of the rules. Now remember, I have guidelines. I must always encourage, equip, and empower. You can always sit by me in the lunch table of high school of life if you are encouraging, equipping, and empowering people. She may have jumped off because she's supposed to be in class. So funny. But if you are encouraging, equipping, and empowering people, you can sit by me. Because the work is great. I looked at the clock. Like, first of all, chatting on the planning period earlier could have been in a violation. And now, like, for sure, I think school's still in session. But it's going to be a fun summer because we're going to just make great art for the next few months and continue to open doors for people who want to believe in their dreams and want to believe in this thing that keeps coming up this week in Love and Action Network, people who want to work in harmony. Peace is possible. Harmony is possible. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free of all suffering. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free of all suffering. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be free of all suffering. And may love grow bigger, 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 bigger inside of your heart today. May it consume your entire body. May it consume the chair and the room that you're sitting in. May it reach into your home. May it go out into the yard. May it go down the street. May it go into town. May it go into your state. May it go into your city. May it go into your whole country. May it inhabit the entire earth. May your love grow bigger and bigger and bigger today, and then may it also press back into you. There's a wonderful visual exercise. I'll land here today. I think I've been talking for 52 minutes. This happens to me especially when I'm on stage, but it's happening now, and it even happens when I'm on the toilet. This idea of the love inside of me expanding to the edges of the universe, and then all of the universe's love coming into a singular point of energy that you all sometimes call flow. And once you begin to see that you are one with all love, and all love is one with you, you're on your way. I'll see y'all around. Lovedandlovable.org, link in bio, free membership. Stay groovy.